Hey, welcome to another episode of the Not Scrum Dumb podcast. I'm your co-host, Andreanna Marshall, and that's my amazing co-host.
Grand Scrum Master Scott, everyone.
Today, we're going to talk about 4 common characteristics or actions of a Scrum Master who has a job but doesn't last long at that job. So let's get right into it. The first one is lack of adaptability. Scott, do you want to take this one?
Lack of adaptability. Some Scrum Masters I've seen, after you get the job, now you got to figure out how you're going to collaborate and how are you going to gel with the team. I've seen some Scrum Masters, they just didn't gel with the team. Their personality was too strong or too weak or whatever. And the team complained, said, this Scrum Master is not really going to work. So I'm looking at adaptability from a standpoint of it's something about their personality, it's something about their character that just wasn't connecting with the team. And I've seen that on some Scrum Masters. Your thoughts, Andreanna?
The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of this is somebody who is like, well, on my last team, we did this. It doesn't matter what you did on your last team. This is your current team. The processes, the practices that you're going to do on this team are going to be a little different than what you've done on your previous team. Different product, different people. That's okay. And I think that's what comes to my mind when I think about being adaptable is really not holding on to things of your past and coming up with new working agreements, new processes, new tools with this new team and allowing them to make their own path. So, number two, insufficient soft skills. What do you think about this one, Scott?
One of the classes I love that we teach, Andriana, is the professional facilitator skills class. That class wasn't available when I came along. And I joined Toastmasters to get those soft skills. But one of the areas I see Scrum Master struggle is having different facilitating techniques and different skill sets that they could use to help the team go through not only the events, but what if team conflict happens or what if the team is not delivering? How are you going to facilitate in such a way that you can come up with some different ideas and brainstorming sessions that can help the team get over that hurdle where they're at to help them get to the next level. So facilitation and communication, those are soft skills. I would say that would be one of the things that I would highlight.
The only thing I'll add is empathy and understanding. I think those are really key things in terms of soft skills that a lot of people don't have. And I think that also goes into emotional intelligence, being able to read the room, being able to understand when it's time to separate people, when it's time to bring people together, when you may be destroying trust, when you need to build trust back up. I think those are really important things that a lot of people lack. And it doesn't make them valuable. And one thing that I've grown to understand, particularly in software, is when engineers do not find you valuable anymore, they do not talk to you. You got to think about that when you are working with people. Your ability to bring people together, your emotional intelligence is going to be really important and valuable to the team. And I think that empathy part goes into the third point that we have, which is overemphasis on process over people. Now, I feel like this is like the violation of the Agile Manifesto immediately, but Scott, what are your thoughts?
Overemphasis on process over people. Yeah. I have been around the Scrum Police. Here's what it looked like. The Scrum Police and I was at a big financial firm. And one day we was in a meeting with the Agile coach, all the Scrum Masters in the room, visualizing conference room. We in there. The Agile coach said something that went against Scrum, and the Scrum Police, he got up out of his seat and blasted the Agile coach out. We can't do that. That goes against Scrum. You see, the Scrum Police. She was coming from more of a people's perspective, and he was so on the process, the technicalities of Scrum, that they had a clash. And I just never seen a Scrum Master go off on an Agile coach like that. And ladies and gentlemen, you know he didn't look like me, right? So I'm sitting back very uncomfortable, like, well, whoa. If I did that, I'm pretty sure I have a pink slip, a blue slip, and all kinds of slip, right? Are y'all trying?
That is really funny. I lost my train of thought after that story. All right. My entire belief is that process is meant to help us and help the people do a better job. And a lot of times I see people adding process when sometimes you should remove process. Sometimes there are things in guardrails that we no longer need that maybe at one time we did. I think this also goes with the inability to adapt. We have something in place now, maybe it doesn't work in the future. And also, like you said, process is meant to help people. It's not meant to be what you use to police and control people. I think that also goes into that command and control style, and that does not work in Scrum. And I also think that goes perfectly with our fourth one, which is inadequate agile mindset. I think we also talked about that last one is like just a straight up process over people is automatically you are going against agile manifesto. So you don't really have that proper mindset that you should. But I think the other things that I'll add to this, and you could land the plane here, Scott, is having that proper mindset is there are actions behind it. So making sure that the team continuously improves, helping the team collaborate with customers, which may require a lot more work with the product owner, making sure that we are having effective sprint reviews so that we can adapt or we understand the market changes so that we can adapt. We're not too rigid, but we also have structure and we deliver value every single sprint to the customers. All right, Scott, what do you have for this one?
I'm gonna give our subscribers a not Scrum Dumb moment. Inadequate agile mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, Scrum practitioner, agile practitioners, newcomers, you'll be excused from this conversation I'm getting ready to have. But what is your favorite agile value and principle? Can you quote it? Can you quote it? When is the last time you looked at the Agile manifesto? Hmm. Inadequate agile mindset. I think it comes from really a whole lot of people don't really understand the Agile manifesto. My favorite one is principle number 12 to let you know we're playing a behavior game. It's all about the behavior. The only thing standing in our way of us getting where it is we want to be is our behavior. So I love principle number 12. Yeah. Also, that relates to the Scrum Guide. Right after the values, when you read the value section in the Scrum Guide, that tells you the game that we're playing. We're playing a behavior game. Yeah, try to change people's behaviors to align with the goals and objectives we're trying to achieve. So, how are we going to do that, Scrum Masters? How are we going to facilitate and foster that environment? Inadequate agile mindset. Read the Agile Manifesto of Software Development. Andreanna.
Those are the four: lack of accountability, insufficient soft skills, overemphasis on process over people, and inadequate agile mindset. So, those are the four common actions or characteristics of a scrum master who may land a job, but they don't last long. All right. So if you have questions and you want us to cover a particular topic, like someone who reached out to me, I'm covering this topic, leave it in the comments. We read those and hit us up on LinkedIn or you can join our mailing list and you can always email us. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, that means you have an attention span greater than a goldfish.
Be legendary, everyone, but not Scrum Dumb. Make sure you read your Agile Manifesto of Software Development today. Do you know what it means to have an agile mindset? That you embody the four values and the 12 principles. Woo! And that's so beautiful. Y'all have an amazing day.